IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way.
I've been briefed on the latest developments in Israel and Lebanon.
There's more escalation in West Asia. Israel and Hezbollah are exchanging fire. We are talking hundreds of rockets, dozens of missiles, and hundreds of casualties. It's the most dangerous flare-up in nearly 20 years. Israel is doing most of the damage. They're pounding Lebanon with missiles and rockets. Some 1,600 Hezbollah sites have been hit. And casualties? 558 deaths so far. That includes 50 children and 94 women. Among the rest, it's not clear how many were Hezbollah fighters, so chances are Israel killed a lot of civilians. It's the highest death toll since Lebanon's civil war.
هاي تحت البيت عنا، هاي تحت البيت عنا يا جماعة.
هاي هلا.
And it's not over yet. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has released a statement. He's asking Lebanese people to get out of harm's way. The plan is to keep striking Hezbollah targets, to take out their launch sites.
To defend our people against Hezbollah strikes, we must take out those weapons. Now, starting this morning, the IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way. I urge you, take this warning seriously. Don't let Hezbollah endanger your lives and the lives of your loved ones. Don't let Hezbollah endanger Lebanon. Please, get out of harm's way now.
Netanyahu says, get out of harm's way. And go where? Hezbollah is embedded into Lebanese society. They're literally everywhere, in cities, in villages, in remote hills, everywhere. So where does Netanyahu want these people to go? He says the plan is to deter Hezbollah, to remain ahead of the threat. But frankly, Netanyahu is the bigger threat at the moment. He is single-handedly plunging the region into a wider war because Hezbollah is not sitting around. They're striking back. They have fired around 200 rockets at Israel. Most of them were intercepted by the Iron Dome system. And casualties? Just 2 injured in Israel. Hezbollah is the rogue group here, but they have shown surprising restraint. In fact, there is little appetite for war in Lebanon. Then why is Netanyahu poking them? Well, maybe for politics. These attacks have increased his popularity. After the Hamas attack last year, most Israelis wanted Netanyahu out, but now his Likud party is leading national polls. The longer the fighting continues, the stronger he becomes. And what is the world doing about it? Israel's allies have called for restraint. So have China and the United Nations. But none of them seem to have an effect on Netanyahu, not even the United States of America.
The conflict along the blue line has gone on for way too long, far too long, and it needs to get to a resolution quickly. And so we're going to continue to do that, continue to have those diplomatic conversations.
China opposes any violation of Lebanon's sovereignty and security and opposes and condemns any action that harms innocent civilians.
The message to the parties that are firing at each other across the blue line, to all the parties involved in this conflict, is step back from the brink. Stop the escalation.
The UN General Assembly has convened in the backdrop of these tensions, not just in West Asia, but also Ukraine. So war is the talk of the town. Prime Minister Modi was also in New York yesterday, and he met 2 key players of these wars. First was Mahmoud Abbas, the seemingly forever president of Palestine, and then Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. Both were significant meetings. Yes, Putin and Netanyahu are not attending the United Nations, so it's impossible to meet them in New York. Yet, It sends a political message, these meetings, they send a political message. Modi met Abbas amid the escalation in West Asia. He called for a ceasefire in Gaza. He also reiterated India's demand for a two-state solution. Same with Zelensky. This was Modi's third meeting with him in the last 4 months. He called for a peaceful resolution of the war. Now remember, both Israel and Russia are key partners of India, two of the biggest arms suppliers as well. Yet Prime Minister Modi met their chief rivals. What does that tell you? A, the continued death and destruction has made India recalibrate its policy. As an aspiring world leader, you cannot remain silent. And B, India is keeping its options open. And a big reason for that is China. Beijing has deepened its cooperation with Moscow. They're also lobbying for their peace plan. It's a broad and vague proposal, but Putin has agreed to support it, China's proposal. So since Russia is cozying up to China, India is engaging the other side, sort of like covering all bases. It's the same thinking in Gaza. China has become a leading critic of Israel's actions. As a result, they have garnered goodwill in West Asia, whether it's in Iran or Saudi Arabia or the UAE. China even managed to strike a truce between Hamas and the Palestinian Authority, something that was considered impossible. So India had to act. New Delhi has not taken sides in these wars. But global perception is different, and you can thank Western media for that. They made it seem like India was tacitly backing Russia and Israel. But with these meetings, Prime Minister Modi has made one thing clear: India is not supporting anyone's war, nor should anyone take India for granted, even if it's a long-time partner or friend.